Hey everyone, Christina Del Rey with your forecast for February 15th, 2021. So we have a big week in astrology, and I know I say that every week, but really every week has been big. But this week we have the start of the exact square between Saturn and Uranus, and really this is what 2021 is all about. This is probably the most major transit for this year. Now, last year, if you remember, we had Pluto-Saturn, and that was to kind of tear everything down and apart, all the structures in our lives. So now we have Saturn and Uranus, and not quite as challenging as last year, but still challenging. So this is a year of revolution. It's a year of change, not just on a collective level, but on a personal level as well. And you have been thinking about what your personal revolution is because the universe keeps giving you clues. If you're not 100% sure where you're going, the universe is asking you to experience life in a new direction, at least in one area. But change is inevitable, and at least in one area of your life. And if you don't like change, the universe is kind of saying, too bad. You're going to have to embrace it at some point. So it is better not to go against the grain. It is better to accept and kind of, manifest something good. So Saturn is asking you to be responsible in one area of life, and Uranus is shaking the foundations of another part of your life. So you kind of have, one foot in an old life and one foot in a new life. And you have to decide what to keep and what needs to go and how you're going to do that. And of course, as humans, we don't like to change. We don't welcome in, change. It's scary to us. And what we have to realize is that this is happening so that you can be shaken free from something and be more authentically you. So whatever is being shaken free from your life, it is so that you can be more yourself and in alignment with what your soul came here to do or to learn. The exact square will happen 3 times, and the first time is February 17th, and both are direct and strong. And when you have 3 hits of a planet, it's kind of like, the first time is like, oh, there's a spaceship on my lawn. And then the second one is like, oh, I really should do something about that spaceship there. And then the third one is like, yeah, I kind of understand what I'm supposed to do with this spaceship, and I don't really care what anybody else thinks. I'm just going to integrate it into my life. So that's kind of what is going on here. The second hit of this is June 14th. Saturn will be retrograde, so that means that Uranus is going to be stronger, and that shakes up future, or that shakes up foundations. And then we have the last hit, which is December 24th. Saturn is going to be going direct, and Uranus is retro. So Saturn is going to be stronger here, and it's going to be you focusing on the new structures that you've put into place and building on that now, because you had to understand the spaceship and integrate that into your life. Okay, let's talk about it in your chart. Hello, Aquarius. So you have been the focus of everything, and this is your year. Definitely not a comfortable year, but a year that you will always remember. It's a game changer for sure. And, it's not something to resist at all. You have to go with the flow. That's not something that Aquarius necessarily likes to do, but you have to make necessary changes. So with this conglomerate of planets in your first house, squaring Uranus in your 4th house, and Saturn-Uranus square coming together for the first time exactly this week is asking you to make changes. Saturn's asking you, where are you going to be responsible? And that is in your house of self. It's body, who am I and how do I identify myself? So Saturn's asking you to take responsibility there. However, and Saturn is the old way of doing things. So Saturn's saying you have to be responsible, but you can't necessarily do it the way that you used to. And Uranus is in the home area, and it's shaking up your foundations at home. And it could even be that this disruption, this square, this uncomfortableness, it could even be conditioning that you had in early childhood that's no longer working for you. It could be testing the way that you react to things. Maybe your reactions are conditioned and you have to dig deep and do some shadow work and figure out how you're going to change that conditioning or how you're going to change those responses. We all grow up with family beliefs and conditions that, we think that we don't have a choice, and we do, because when we're on automatic, many times really we do have a choice, we just don't realize we're making a choice. So Uranus shakes this foundation, and this could be your actual home as well. You could be moving, you could be shifting your values at home. There might be something that has to do with that too. But whatever this shakeup is for you, it is to become that new person that we talk about, that I've talked about many weeks in a row, to become the person that you came to be uniquely you, and to not really care what other people think anymore. The spaceship analogy is really most important for you. You have to integrate this new you and become another person who fully accepts who they are, and the old conditioning has to be removed or reconditioned. There's a lot of changes in at least one area of your life. Probably these two areas of the self and the home, or the self and your foundations, or the self and conditioning. But if you recognize that about yourself, you are in the right direction. So it's important for the shadow side. We want to go to the high vibration side, and the high vibration of Aquarius is ideas and technology and the collective and social gatherings and structures and thoughts, new thoughts, innovative thoughts. But the shadow side is becoming morally corrupt, disconnecting from the mind from the heart. Like Leo is the heart, Aquarius would be the mind. And then if they are disconnected, because Leo is your polarity, then you don't have the voice that tells you what feels right, what feels wrong, and then you kind of do things that are morally corrupt, and you're detaching too much. So you don't want to go towards the shadow side. You want to make sure that you're going towards humanity and walking to the beat of your own drum, but you always want to make sure that you are never not connected to the heart. Whatever needs to go, set it free. And if you connect to source, or you connect to God, you'll be able to embrace the new life and learn what you were supposed to learn. We also have Venus and Mars squaring off in the same part of the chart. So it is likely that your values are being tested, or your values, you have to make a move on your values, or perhaps you even just have to make a move on who you are or your identity. And, it's asking for action, and that, that includes values, or that includes relationships or material items and money. And then on the 20th, Mercury goes direct and things seem to get much more clear. The direction that you're going in gets a lot clearer. If you are rethinking who you are, it starts to become more clear to you who you are, how you identify yourself, what direction you're going in, and it's a little more hopeful. All right, Aquarius, have a great week.